When I give talks to students here and around the world, number one question I get from students is, how can I convince my parents to let me live my dream? They want me to live theirs. Number one question, bar none. When I was in Indonesia, this came multiple students, multiple events. You know, they're unique, they have their dream. God created them for a purpose. That's not our purpose, it's their purpose. We gotta give them that freedom.
So how do we plan for a smooth transition? You know, when our kids were little, we put training wheels on their bike, didn't we? And eventually we took the training wheels off. Doug and I had some friends when our kids were really little, their 5-year-old son. They armored that kid up like none other to ride his bike. He had on like full body armor to ride his bike. I mean, the kid, he looked like the kid in the snowsuit in Christmas Story, like this. There's no way he could ride a bike, but they didn't want him to scrape his knee. He did not learn to ride a bike till they took everything off except his helmet. And yes, he scraped his knee. And your kids will scrape their knees, literally and figuratively, as you incrementally release control. That's part of the transition, is incrementally releasing control. Our neighbors, they are launching a kid this year, and he's a good kid. He's a really good kid. And they have very tight control on him. And he said something really insightful to his mom recently. He said, "Mom, do you think it'd be okay if we kind of went without rules now?" And she's like, "Go without rules? Why would we go without rules?" And he said, "You know what, I'm worried." He's graduating in June. He said, "I'm just kind of worried when I get to college that I've been a good kid because you made me be good. And I just want to practice being good without having all those rules." I thought that was really insightful. And she wasn't sure what she was going to do yet last time I talked to her, because she was so fearful of releasing those rules. But if he knew that he needed it, I thought that was pretty insightful. The point of the transition is, though, we need to be moving from that driver's seat to that passenger seat. There's a quote that says, one of the greatest things that we can give our kids is to teach our kids how to get along without us. So these
couple of things to just share about us and about the resources that we have to offer. Many of the points that we shared tonight are in Parenting for the Launch. That kind of framed what we decided to talk about. And what I wish I knew at 18, just for starters, is the book that I really wrote for my son when he was ready to leave for college. And it is 109 life success pointers. It is a great third-party voice when your kids aren't always listening to you, but you got this excuse because there's this person over here that's written this book just for you. And when parents and teens go through the book together, amazing things happen. Because now we're in sharing mode, because you all have the same stories that I shared. They're just different ones. But for the pointers, you know, it gives you an opportunity to get to know your kids better and for them to get to know mom and dad better too. So we go into all the things about leadership foundation, college, career, family, finances, the Lord's wisdom written in a way that's universal. And that's how we're in Indonesia. It's crazy, the largest Muslim nation in the world. It's amazing. Parenting for the Launch is a game plan and strategies for all of us to do our best to prepare these young kids to soar. And all of the areas of, have we covered the bases? Are we building a strong relationship? How are we set up for that transition? It's all covered in this book. And it's just, you know, a joy that we can now have resources that are still about helping teenagers, but equipping the equippers, just like, you know, like we both, you know, live that as well.